Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And we all use flat or slotted screwdrivers as pry bars. It's just the nature of the beast. This thing is often exactly what we need, but they really aren't designed for it. But there are a lot of things that kind of blur the lines. Here's kind of something that seems obviously more of a chisel with a really hefty striking cap, yet it also looks like a screwdriver, and for thick screws here it would actually work. This one is definitely a screwdriver, another Milwaukee here, but actually is designed also for striking, which means of course you use it for prying and for chipping away at things. Well, we all raced the small pocket pry bars. These are just fabulous because oftentimes we were using our little screwdrivers as pry bars. But as this is really small, this one that I made out of a screwdriver works great. I love it. I wish Snap-on had just a slightly bigger one, but these are fabulous. These are their smallest of their dedicated pry bars, with the bent shaft, widened or flared head on them. Had these things forever, these plastic ones. I have really beat up ones. Then they went to a striking cap version. Again, very small. Then they went to the new handle, kept the striking cap, still really beefy. Just absolutely love these things. They are so handy. However, there is this. This is a small one, but it has their prying head on it. Notice it's nice and thin. It doesn't flare out. Still pretty beefy there. They just grind that flat. You can see it's pretty rougher. It's rough metal, nowhere near the sophistication of their excellent screwdriver shafts. But they do say this does work as a screwdriver. It is a little off-center. That's because it's primarily a pry bar, in fact a striking pry bar. This one here, you can see the number there, the MPBS10A. Sells for about 35 bucks. That's a bunch of money. If you go to the 12, which is just a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier shaft, it has a shaft about like this, in fact. This is the brake tool version, but I started to really like this. Then you jump up to like 55 bucks. But this is what I would recommend for when you would normally want a screwdriver. And I mean, in order to use it as a pry bar. Nice little head, but still a big handle. In fact, if you compare that, there's the connection there. You can see it's probably, you could say roughly half the width. There's the faces on the things. This is obviously much smaller, much handier for carrying in your pocket. But having something like this, where you want to use a screwdriver as a pry bar, because this is just the optimum size here for a lot of prying, a lot of basic twisting, popping, snapping, bending, lifting, moving, kind of wedging in to adjust something. So that's what this thing's for. So I had a longer one, and I never found a use for it. I actually sold it to somebody who really needed something like that. But this one here, this is handy. This is a great design, great size, nice and simple, big handle. I am a fan of the new handles. A lot of people don't like those. But it is a different kind of a pry bar than these standard small ones. And as you all know, I love pry bars. So it's bigger than the biggest one that, the biggest little one I've got. It's way bigger than the pocket pry bar. In fact, it's, we're talking screwdriver size. And that's often what we grab, not only because it's handy, we have one with us, but also just because this size just seems to be, pretty much perfect for everything versus grabbing a large pry bar or something. But anyway, if you haven't expanded your pry bars to include screwdriver-sized pry bars like this, maybe it's time, because this thing is often the ticket. And with that, Doc out.